you know, to seize those new opportunities. And I guess what I would stress is that, you know, that is going to take some time. That is not something that happens quickly. And through that transition, it does lower the economy's potential growth. As that adjustment, you know, advances, productivity growth should come back up. The economy should be stronger. There should be more resilient. That is going to take some time, and you know, we have a 2-year projection. You know, it's happening through that whole 2 years.
Okay, next let's go to Promit Mukherjee from Thomson Reuters, please.
Governor, between October and now, what has changed that has made you say that the range of possible outcomes are wider than usual?
Well, I mean, I think there's a few things. I think there's a sense that geopolitical risks are heightened. I'm not going to go through every you know, event, but the month of January has been pretty packed with with you know, new elements, new geopolitical risks. I think U.S. You know, U.S. Trade policy. You know, there was, you know, through the last spring, there was you know, some very big changes, some pauses, some reintroductions, some deals. You know, through the summer, I don't want to say uncertainty was low, but there was.
Okay. We're doing good. We're doing good today. I just had to watch this. Sorry, MB. Okay, sorry. I'm very freaking late. But I love seeing you too. All right. Just watch this. The bank's doing great. I don't really have an answer to my questions, but who cares, I guess? Well, I was sleeping until 15 minutes ago. What a freaking timing! That's some perfect timing. Tomorrow I'll probably be... Oh, maybe I'll go do some shopping tomorrow. Do some groceries. I was lazy this morning. This morning I watched some politics, game a little bit. I don't think that anybody want to watch me game or watch me watch politics. So, yeah, I decided to chill for a couple hours. But here I am. I should be energetic. The medication should have kicked in, and I just ate a fuck ton of things, so now I'm getting a little sleepy. But I'll get out of it. I'll get out of it. Digestion is making its way. All right. So, yeah, I'm still a little bit on the confused side. I don't know if you've seen MBE, probably. You seem to be the type of guy who follows this shit, but the federal government is going to give, how do they call it? In French, it's TPS, so like tax rebate. I'm kind of confused. I thought that our like the reason why you would do that from an economics point of view would be to reinforce the spending, make sure the spending stays strong, because you don't want all your service side to be crippled because nobody's spending, because we're in a quote-unquote recession. But from my understanding, spending was strong, and it was not shown to lower from the Bank of Canada, at least, from their projection. Maybe I'm retarded, but that was my understanding, so I'm kind of feeling weird about that. Chilling, having self-time is a must if you want to be productive in the rest of your life. Yeah, this is what I learned from well, not from divorce, but from that same time. Yeah, if you don't take some time for yourself, you will end up being a worse person to everybody. and it's not being selfish. Like maybe the division is a little bit more fucked because I have my daughter in the calculus, but like it's not selfish for me to say, okay, you're going to sleep. I want to do some things that I like to do. I'm not a slave to you. Even though I am, and even though I love her, it's still like something that is important. Or else I'll be a worse person to her, and that's not what I want to be, right? Carney said yesterday that it was to help people with the salary. Yes, that's okay. Okay. That's the politics, right? That's the that's what you say as a politician, because even if it was true that like the reasons that I gave to increase spending and make sure that we don't have a lowering down in the service sector, like you would never phrase it like that, right? You would never say, well, the GDP is a little low on that side, so we must push it. Like it sounds so fucking bad. So you'll use like this type of rhetoric, but it like the real reason, the real justification is because you don't want the economy to slow down. You want to keep it running. You want to keep that momentum. So I'm never expecting Carney to say anything else than what he said, and the way that he delivered it, the way that he said everything was perfect. I think the vibe when he was in the grocery store was good. So on that, I'll say 10 out of 10. I think it was good. But like, I'm somebody that's interested in economics. I don't listen to the Bank of Canada because I'm a brainless retard, but because I like this stuff. So whenever I see Carney using money that could be used elsewhere, and I don't see why, makes me feel a little weird. I don't like that. So, like, look, maybe I'm a dumb fuck, right? Bank of Canada economic projections. That's not what we want. Consumption. Well, okay, there's contribute I'm not reading this correctly. Contribution to the average annual real GDP growth. So this should, if all else equal, this should be to the rate of inflation. Or else it means that there's a lowering in the price that is substantial, or that there's less spending in that. So maybe that's very negative. Well, it doesn't give us anything on that side. Well, it says that. I wonder if we could have some like more detail. Risk. Sectoral, main downside. Okay. Assessing underlying inflation. That may be where they talk about groceries. Oh, I hate when there's like 15 fucking measures of inflation and I don't understand each one. US tariff and attitude is hurting a lot of company. If we go with the Gripen instead of F-35, there will be retaliation. Another trade-in agreement. You know more than I on all of this. I don't think so. I think that you probably from your significant other, you probably have a better view of what's going on provincially, because this is a big blindside to me. I have no fucking idea what goes on there. Like I sneak, I look a little bit like once a week, and then I'm like, okay, Okay, I don't give a shit. But yeah, econ and the federal level, that's some shit that I like. Like, I don't want to go deep on this. Normally they always talk about it. Oh, okay. Oh fuck, they're only talking about it in in industrial terms. No. Wait a second. I want an answer to my fucking question. Okay, I want to see if it's retarded. Shift and thread added new cost. So we had some. Oh, the counter tariff cost that much. Surprising. All right. Carbon tax removal. Hmm. Oh, no, we don't talk about politics. People working at a as a. Oh, all right. Makes sense. Makes sense, and that's fair. Well, I mean, it, it depends on the person working at the parliament, right? So, but yeah, makes sense that if you're not like somebody that is explicitly affiliated to someone, like to an MP. The work for the parliament, not the current party. Yeah, exactly. I get it. Fewer businesses, cost increase. Okay, fewer businesses in previous quarters are planning to pass trade-related cost increase on customer. Well, technically, I'm going to sound rude, but what trade-related costs would a Canadian industry have? Our tariffs are ultra targeted, so they most likely won't affect what you cannot already have in Canada, so there's no cost there. Do we have real tariff on China? To my understanding, it was just the meme that we had about electric cars. Do we have any other increase in tariff that is from our side of the border that we give a shit about? Like, I feel that this thing is retarded. Like, what additional spending are you talking about? Import tax, Canada. Do we have some, like, updates on this shit? Like steel and aluminum? Saskatchewan, no. But those are all going to talk about the already existing. Kuzma is like what they said, 95 or 85%. Like, no problem. Like, I'm confused sometimes by whatever the fuck this means. Like, this is so retarded. Okay, at the same time, several factors could help alleviate the upward pressure on prices. Global overcapacity in manufacturing and strategic underpricing by exporters could exert downward pressure, while the adoption of artificial intelligence could reduce production costs. Some Canadian businesses are reporting higher costs due to these global adjustments, but weak demand is limiting their ability to pass on increase to their customers. All right. So the increase would be more like a logistic and like price of energy. This feels retarded. More business than previous quarter and expecting to hold price steady. Slightly increase. Yeah, you would want to always do the slightly increase. Okay, that's probably like a a big fucking recession indicator, like an industry being like, okay, we cannot put higher price in this economy. We're not going to sell shit. See where the broadcast. Oh, okay, I get it. The company less it sells, reduce price to compensate. Yeah. Yeah, it's the spiral, but this is a bad fucking sign. Okay, maybe that's the idea. When did this come out? Oh, that's October 2025. Is it? So maybe I'm a dumb fuck because I'm looking at indicators that would be like not leading, trailing. Okay, that's the word. I'm looking at trailing indicators, so things that whenever they're fucked, we're fucked, right? Whenever we see them fail, it's too late. But maybe Carney is looking at these and he's like, ooh. Because inflation, to my understanding, is under control. That's the like central banks across the world have completely gave up the 2% target. They're going for 3%. They all say 2, but it's a 3%. And that's what the US was doing too. So nobody will give a shit. It won't affect the economy. You would just shoot yourself in the foot to try to lower it to 2% for real. Projection, economic growth, annual growth at 1%. Yeah, that's some shit growth. All right, maybe it's not that dumb, and I'm the dumb fuck. Economic activity is strong. Wait, we didn't see that part. Can we go back to the start? Growth in household spending slows. Okay. That's what I was searching. It was the other way around. Ooh. Okay, so the projections. Like the consumption growth. Like the totality of this. We want to see this as high as possible. Or else we cannot uphold like new industry creation. The service industry is getting fucked if this is not going up. All right. All right. Okay, I think I'm a retard. He has some pretty good reasons. Okay. All right, we solved it. We solved it. we know now. Thank you, Leader Carney. You are always right. I'm so sorry for having doubted you. So anyway, now that this addendum is finished, we're going to be able to do some research. Research. All right. So that's good. We already did that. Where were we when I was getting like giga sleepy? Oh, it was the concurrency. The subsystem for memory management, concurrency ID, and restartable sequences has had a major rewrite. Kernel legend Thomas Gleaksner took the task, and his work resulted in a major performance gain. Let's start by understanding what MMCID and RSEC are. It is common for a program to require a per CPU data structure. Meaning, some chunk of data that should be accessible and loaded to only this CPU. This allows swift transaction and lower contention in critical. Another word for use case, not circumstance. Alternative word for use case. Scenario, event of, requirement. In critical code, I guess. Contention. This allows swift transaction and lower contention in critical code. One way to create such per CPU data structure is to create one per core. But in I wanted to make an intonation on it. I'm not even sure. Let's just read it. Sometimes I put like a capital just because I want to like, I know how I think whenever I'm reading it, and I know that it will help me put everything in the right way. It is common for a program to require a per CPU array, per CPU data structure, meaning some chunk of data that should be accessible and loaded to only this CPU. This part is like this would help me understand, right? This would help me say it correctly. Like it is common for a program to require a per CPU data structure, meaning some chunk of data that should be accessible and loaded to only this CPU. This allows swift transaction and lower contention in critical code. Yes, a lot of what I'm doing is like, yes, I'm trying to be correct, but this is for the video. Before it was documentation. In the other versions that I was doing, I was truly trying to make the new documentation, but I gave up. So just the writing for video. This allows swift transaction and lower contention in critical code. One way to create such per CPU data structure is to create one per core. But in the context of a CPU with a large core count, huge waste of memory. Think of needing it for only 5 core on 200 core machine. Maybe like this. Okay, but in the context of a CPU with a large core count, it can become a huge waste of memory. So just think about needing it for only 5 cores on a 200 core machine. It would obviously be ridiculous. Okay, that makes sense. The solution is DMM-CID. It allows you to set a number of cores with a number of let's use the real word concurrency IDs to set a number of concurrency IDs that will use said data structure. Hello, Cardian. How's it going? The solution is the MMCID. It allows to set a number of concurrency IDs that will use said data structure. Whenever a thread whenever a thread requiring a CID wakes up. Oh shit. I forgot Mozart. Let's get Mozart in here. I don't want to blow your ears. I even lowered the sound for it. You don't want Mozart? It's okay if you don't want Mozart. We can have voice only. I don't know if anybody cares. Yay, Mozart? Okay, yay, Mozart. No, not Audacity, you dumb bitch. Come on. Don't fuck with me. I think VLC will do it. Ooh, that's a little loud. It's the fault of the Bank of Canada announcement. True! You know what? Next time I should just fucking do it on stream, okay? Next time I'll just watch the Bank of Canada on stream and I'll comment live. Oh, I'll be a bank commenter, okay? I'll be cheering at the interest rate not being lowered. Okay. Content, true. Whenever a thread requires a CID, whenever a thread that requires a CID wakes up, okay. It will take a CID from the pre-generated array. The pre-generated array. Once that thread goes to sleep, the CID isn't instantaneously. Bro, I got that? The CID isn't instantaneously freed from the core. This allows the thread to quickly wake up if needed in the case where that core is used and that the CID array is empty. It would then be freed from the original core and sent to a new one. This limits MMCID also plays into NUMA the hardware information that allows us to know how close a core is to another and allows some optimizations. All right, politics and Linux always hand in hand, whether it is in the mailing list and repos or on stream from YouTube. I think that everything now is politics. Is there like a corner of life that is not linked to politics? Right? And that's something that like we can say that the right wing absolutely has this. They have this fucking locked. Holy shit. Like you cannot you like 99% of what you're going to look is going to be like the thing plus right-wing politics. And it's like, okay, fuck me then. I guess my maybe porn? I don't know. I don't know. Well, porn is a place where, if you ask the right wing, that's where it is the most politicized, right? Because from their point of view, like, all the porn categories are there to, like, because of the Jewish Giga space monster that is trying to pervert society. And they're trying to trans you, so that's why they see trans porn on their feed and they jerk off to it. And if they're Nazi enough, they will like absolutely think that the fact that there's black people in their porn means like that they're trying to change the race or something. Like the fact that I used to believe like a quarter of this stuff. I'm so fucking ashamed, you don't even know. Politics is everywhere. I am certain that even in porn, politics get there. Yes, it does. Like, I was a big neo-Nazi, so... Of course porn was a part of it. Of course it was. But hey. We will survive. Okay. RSEC. RSEC is the user space Okay. MMCID is more of a kernel concept to take advantage of it. The user will use RSEC. Oh, I can do this. We'll use restartable sequences. Then I can do dot, new line, RSEC. Fuck. Did I put the link anywhere in this? No, I didn't. You dumb bitch. Bro. We're getting there, guys. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. So RSEC is the way. Okay, my writing is shit. MMCID is more of a we'll use restartable sequences. RSEC. Fuck. Okay. All right. Let's think. Let's talk about benchmarks now. Oh, shit. I could have done this. Okay. RSEX. Is used with great result with databases. And the with great result with databases. And the rewrite showed up to, what is it, like 15%? 14? Up to is a shit way to... And the rewrite showed around 13% performance gain, which is very good. All right, let's put the bench. Let's put this here. Boom. Whoops. Okay, let's put this here. Oh, did we already have it? No, okay. That. Now let's put this here. All right, let's reread all of that shit. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. The subsystem for memory management concurrency ID and restartable sequences has had a major rewrite. Kernel legend Thomas Gleixner took the task and his work resulted in a major performance gain. Let's start by understanding what MMCID and RSEC are. It is common for a program to require a per CPU data structure, meaning some chunk of data that should be accessible and loaded to only one. Yeah, let's say one CPU, fuck it. Do one CPU. If I say core, I might fuck some people. Enjoyment is being achieved. Based, okay? Thank you for making me feel that, listen, I am learning, and since you are searching and explaining things yourself and us, I get more understanding with less effort. Okay, good. I feel good about myself now. Thank you, guys. This allows a swift transaction and lower contention in critical code. One way to create such per CPU data structure is to create one per core. But in the context of a CPU with a large core count, it can be a huge waste of memory. Think of needing it only for 5. Think of needing it for only for. It's better phrased the other way around. Think of needing it only for 5 cores on a 200 core machine. It keeps my brain working. I need to work out these days. Based. The solution is the MMCID. It allows you to set a number of concurrency IDs that will use said data structure. Whenever a thread that requires a CID wakes up, it will take a CID from the pre-generated array. Once that thread goes to sleep, the CID isn't instantaneously freed from the core. This allows the thread to quickly wake up if needed. In the case where that core is used and that the CID... Fucking hell, am I retarded here? In the case where There's an H there, retard. Okay. In the case where that core is, like I was trying to conjugate that was insane. Okay, in the case where that core is being used and that the CID array is empty, it would then be freed from the original core and sent to a new one. MMCID also plays into NUMA, the hardware information that allow us to know how close a core is to another, and allows some optimization. Yeah, this is poor. That N is poorly written, but both statements are true, so I don't give a shit. MMCID is more of a kernel concept. To take advantage of it is more of a kernel space. To take advantage of it, MMCID is more of a kernel space concept. To take advantage of it, the user will use restartable sequences, RSEC. RSEC is used with great results with databases, and the rewrite showed around a 14 performance gain, which is very good. Alright, we're good. It should be needing it for 4. Just to make it harder to read. Okay, I should like say 4 for 4 just to make my life harder. Yes. For 4. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be AIDS. Like I'm never putting 8 intentionally because I often say hate with an H, which makes it sound like I'm fucking hateful. But like I need to think about such things. On a 200 core machine. Okay. Let's just put a plus there so that it's clear that it's all linked. Alright. So that's pretty much explained. We can pass to the next thing. You ate 8 and tall people because of their height. Yes, absolutely. Why would I hate tall people? I'm tall myself. Do I even care? Like about NUMA clustering on some fucking Intel CPU? Nah. I ain't giving no fuck. That goes on the cringe list. Like, if I were making some real documentation, then I would care. I'd probably not even follow Puronics. I would research a mailing list myself. Like, you gotta respect the guy. Puronics has been doing this for fucking years. Like, as soon as I have some money to sling, this guy is getting 100. Height hate sounds the same with my accent, but hearing it now, it is now as good as a pun as I thought. Yep. Like, there's... I think the H and the S's are like the Achilles heel for French Canadians, because our accent is so good. But for that, bro, we just cut through them. Puronics is massively based. True. You need to research Moronics Unicom. Yes, that's so good. Moronics. Okay, that's an Intel post, so we have a chance for Moronics. Okay. Okay. It could have been more retarded. Yeah, people are unhinged on Pharonics. It's kind of funny. But like, we have to realize that most people that leave comments are already exceptional. Because I don't know for you, but personally, I don't leave fucking comments. Holy shit, if I see shit that I don't like, I just make sure that if ever I see another video on another something, I skip. I just skip. I don't give the algorithm. I myself will also contribute whenever possible. We need to contribute. We always need to contribute. Okay. Are we out of the processor? This feels like we are out of the C3 processor. Woo! We got out of the hood. All right. Valve-backed caller pipeline. I did like half an inch of research into this. My understanding is that Linux is a massively retarded shit. So for graphics, we are so retarded. It is unhinged, okay? So we have, okay, let's say that this is hardware. So hardware. And hardware will work with kernel. So the kernel is DRM. And the driver. So normally it would be Mesa or whoever the fuck you use. So you have some communication here. You have some communications there. But the issue is that whenever you... Let's make this a united front just to make it simpler. So whenever you want to interface with this, not only will your application have to deal with this shit, but it will interface with the compositor. And that bitch will do whatever the fuck it wants, and it's not as if there's one compositor like on Windows. There's like 1,200 compositors. So that means that they are using some shit here, maybe not in a standard way. And most of the time, what the compositor will do is essentially just flatten an image and throw it to the driver. So if you have some kind of cool thing, like HDR or whatever the fuck, and your compositor is not cooperating, it might just flatten the image in a way that is not HDR compliant, and you're fucked. Or, like, I'm using HDR, but in reality, any, like, good quality, like, new technology for graphics is the same thing. So, the issue that we have is there is no way to ensure that compositor deal correctly with whatever the fuck we're sending it, so we're fucked. Solution that they find, that's the caller pipeline API, is that here, this little bitch, DRM, so the driver, well, the Linux kernel side driver part, should have a caller pipeline, and this caller pipeline should give out an API right here. So here we have the little API, and technically, all compositors should now go plug into this shit, and it would allow a simple, universal way of implementing things that can be sent to the hardware. Because a lot of, like, color standard actually allow your screen to do way more than it currently does, right? Right now we're doing the dumb thing where we're flattening an image and we're sending it, when in reality, we could say, I'll send you a background and you put that in front, or you put these colors, or you go and do that, right? You could say that to the screen. But right now, we're not able to because we're retards. So this Valve-backed caller pipeline is supposed to fix all of that. Of course, if and only if the people implementing the compositors give a fuck. Alright. If I don't like, I only contribute. If I think or know my comments will help someone. Yep. In two big family, X and Waylon. Yep. Push it back to the D people. Well, if I'm not mistaken, like it is strictly in the hands of the compositor people, right? Because they're the one flattening the image. So as soon as you are flattening an image and shoving it onto straight onto the driver, we're fucked because you're not using the tools that everybody should agree that we need to use. And that's the goal of the color pipeline. So, how did I get that knowledge? I think that was AI again. I think that was AI. Maybe I'm a massive retard, but my understanding is that Wayland and X both have the same plan on this, right? They just say, use a fucking compositor. And it's always this guy that's supposed to make things work, right? I think that the... Am I retarded? My comprehension of the API was to standardize both what the compositor should do, so the communication between kernel... Well, let's make a big... That's the kernel, right? So the communication between kernel and compositor should be standard, but also the communication... Would it be kernel or would it be with the compositor? Like the app? Like this needs to be standard too, right? Or else everything is fucking useless. So there needs to either be a standard way to express that you have this to the compositor, or a standard way to... How does an app draw? That's retarded. The app won't talk directly to the compositor. It will use a standard given by Waylon or by X. And then X or Waylon will grant that to the compositor. So those like HDR things are probably already wired in Wayland and X. But when it passes it along to the compositor, it's then that it would screw up. God damn. X compositors are less separated than Wayland. I would agree with that. That's a big question. Example, in Wayland, there are 15 ways to set default window placement. Because they didn't want that in the Wayland protocol. Yes, I completely agree. So X was way more of a... Like, we just know how those two things were made, right? X was, we're trying to do something. We're just trying to draw something on the window. And it grew from there, right? Wayland is more like, we don't want to do the same mistake as X, but we also want to, like, restrict the fuck out of what we're doing. Well, isn't Wayland like made like with the philosophy, the same philosophy of people that say like systemd is bad? Like the Wayland people are like that, right? they don't want to overextend to the point where it's toxic to actual progress. But I mean, that's Linux, right? That's just Linux. People don't want to have like one system. They don't want one united big fucking thing. Even though it would advantage them so much. I feel that that's such like we're rolling around politics here. But like that's a little bit like people that say, "Oh, I want freedom. I want freedom. I always want freedom. More freedom. Freedom is the most important thing." Right? But then, like there's a point where fuck your freedoms, right? If people are all dying because of a giga disease that kills you after like 2 months of incubation and you don't know that you have it, the vaccine will be mandatory. Fuck your freedom. Right? I feel that we have the same thing in Linux, but replace freedom with... Well, no, freedom would be the same, right? Freedom to do whatever the fuck you want with somebody else's code. And here, it would be functionality, usability, everything else. It's the same fucking dilemma. It's so dumb. If I remember correctly, apps have to ask the kernel for GPU compute, then generate frames, which they hand to compositor. This is an old way of working, from my understanding. So the driver... Okay. Bro, I might be giga fucking wrong, okay? But this is my reading, so take it with a big grain of salt. My understanding is that... Let's just make this real quick. So here we have the RM. Here we have actual user space driver. And here we have... we could say the hardware side of the kernel. So let's say hardware side of the kernel. So DRM, of course, is always linked with the kernel. It can ask whatever the fuck it wants. So when you boot your machine, the driver will go ask DRM, "Hey buddy, can I have this control of this hardware?" Right? So what happened is the user space at that point, because that driver is in user space, right? So the user space at that point has the power to control the GPU. It can do whatever the fuck it wants with it, because DRM has enabled you, well, the user space driver, to do what it wants with it. And then you ask this bitch, right? That's my understanding. So you're not actually asking the kernel directly, because the kernel has already released control of this thing. Like at the very start, it requires that, right? It requires you to ask for it, but it's not as if you ask for it every time. You ask it while you're booting the machine. Well, often if something was done before in Windows, Mac X, they won't do it just because it is the way others are doing it. Not always. Oh, okay, I get it, MB, where you're saying like, oh, if Windows or Mac is doing it that way, we don't want to do it that way, right? That's okay. Yeah, that's a retarded way to see the world, but I know that a lot of people think that way. It's so triggering. And Cardian, look, those things are so complicated. I might be giga wrong, so like take it with the grain of salt that it deserves. But yeah, from my understanding, the user space has limited communication with the kernel after granting access to the hardware. Hi, Nigma. Okay, my problem with this, my understanding, are we only applying this to like giga-based feature like these things? Oh, okay, let's keep it zoom. Like what the fuck's the point? Oh, that's where my knowledge comes from. It's reading this. I remember now. All right. You're way early today. No, I'm late in reality. I was like 2 hours late, but it ended up fitting everyone. In fact, he was late. It was good in the beginning to make sure to advance the technology, but now they won. They don't need to be so closed-minded. I don't know. I don't know if it was ever good, right? Like, okay. Like we must calculate some utility here, right? Because there's an opportunity cost to splitting everything, to like actually being that, not an insult, giga autistic with it. Right? Because instead of putting their time, like they have a choice. They can either put their time into making sure that the limits of the project are like very fucking clear and like that the APIs are like perfect and shit. Or they can just say, oh well, this is so fucking retarded, let's just include it into the project. And you know what? This also just makes some fucking sense. Just include it into the project. Oh well, let's just include this. And oh fuck, that was retarded. Let's cut this part. And you know what? Nobody would give a fuck, right? That's how like Microsoft does it. That's how Mac does it. That's how everybody does it. When you want to actually make something works, right? Like there's a bunch of things that are not part of the purview of KernelInfo, like at the start, and then I'm like, well, you know what? It's just smarter to put it in. Well then, not to be rude or anything, but are you a space-time warping anomaly? I am. That's how I do it too. Yeah, like there's a point where we're getting pedantic and retarded. Like there's a point for everything. Like, I don't know. You know what? I would get it if we're talking about a kernel API. Because a kernel API, like, is something that should never change. So you can be retarded and pedantic with it, right? I wouldn't disagree. But when we put Wayland in context, where it was competing to be the replacement of X, and X was firmly implemented, and everybody knew that X wasn't going away, and that we would be using X for a long time, and it was competing with Mir, it was competing with... what was the other one? Fuck, I don't even remember. There were other ones. Anyway. Like... it's just dumb. Like, maybe we wouldn't even need that API if Wayland had the compositor baked in. Like, let's think about that, right? Like, maybe we're just wasting time here. May I inquire what you are talking about? It seems I am in the middle of it. Alright, so... in the new kernel, there's the color pipeline API that has been added. So the color pipeline API is this idea that, well, right now you have different parts, right? So you have, let's make a pipeline out of it just to make it simple. All right, I think I have enough. So here we have the hardware. Here we have the kernel. More precisely, we have DRM, which is the graphic part of the kernel. Here we have the driver, the user space driver, and here we have the compositor. X, Wayland, don't give a fuck, both have the same issue. So the thing is that normally when you have an application, when you have a program, the way that the program will draw is that it will send its information to the compositor. The compositor will flatten the image, so it will just take whatever data, make a fucking image out of it, ship it to the driver will pass through its little pipeline thing, and end up to the hardware. Problem is, hardware is able to do some processing. So the fact that we're flattening the image on the compositor's point of view means that we're leaving some processing on the table. Not only that, it also means that implementing features like HDR and other cool things and other like full color spectrum things is up to the compositor. So if the compositor decides that we don't give a shit, that we're not going to put the time into making that shit compatible, and we like not want to research for it, well, good luck. Your compositor won't be able to do HDR or any of the cool shit. And even if it does, it won't be able to just say, okay, let's use like a pipeline that is enabled by the kernel and the driver to send things directly to the hardware for processing. You cannot do that, right? That's not allowed. So AMD, what they're doing is they're making sure that these new color feature, these new HDR feature have like a direct API that is enabled by the kernel to allow the compositor, yes, the compositor to actually implement this without like having like 15 years of university into how the fuck colors work. Okay. This allowed to build a new thing uncompromised by old design, but the objective of Wayland protocol was to help the NHAP have a common interface with the OS. They should listen to the user of those protocol, the dev, app dev, etc. Probably, if there's something that I have completely tuned out of, it was the whole Wayland X mirror race. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, you know what? When it will be good enough, we'll see. And whenever Ubuntu put Wayland on their distro, I was like, alright, they won. That's it. Yeah, the bottleneck. In summary, this just make things less retarded idiot. Though, why would they be talking about an API DCI module? What do you mean DCI module? Is DCI like a display connection, data communication interface? I don't get what you're saying. I don't know what data communication interface is, and I don't know how it relates to what I was talking to. Everything that I'm talking to is something that is internally done through either driver, compositor, or the kernel. The module around practically any AI that handles input-output data calls. Well, because we're talking about the API itself. Wait, are you saying this for real? So, I'm talking about the API. And you're like, well, why are you talking about the API connectors, right? Why are you talking about how people actually connect and talk and use the API while talking about the API? Well, maybe because in most people, this is one fucking thing. And understanding the whole pipeline and how things go through your kernel or your computer or your OS helps having an understanding of what the fuck this is. Okay, I think that you're being pedantic, but I'm going to correct all of my statements. Okay? I like, don't take pedantic as a wrong thing, okay? Pedantic means like being like focused on the syntax and on having correct words. It's okay to be focused on that, but I don't want to go down that road, so I'll just like correct my statement. Whoops, sorry, I punched you guys. Here, what was created is an API. The API is a set of rules, right? It's a set of, is saying you can ask this of this, and you can receive this from this, and you can, like, it's a set of rules. That's what an API is. What I'm saying is that not only do we have an API, so we have the set of rules, but we also have the implementation of said API, right? So not only do we have the set of rules, we also have the code that enforces a start of those rules so that we can, in our context, start communicating between compositor and the kernel to implement the caller pipeline, the HDR, do all of that shit correctly using the hardware. I have no idea how this is internally done. I don't know how the compositor talks to the specific connection of the API, and to be frank with you, it doesn't interest me. But just for future reference, whenever people talk about APIs, they generally are talking about both of those things at once, right? So here, when I was using API, I was using it to describe the set of rules that were created and agreed upon, along with the implementation of said set of rules. Right? Here we go. I think that I'm pretty good at doing Nigma info right now. Okay, Nigma, go fuck yourself. No. That I was trying to be giga good faith, okay? I was trying to be giga good faith. Saying that I'm just overcomplicating a bit, go fuck yourself. That's... Okay, maybe you don't know how fucking arrogant that was, but that's unhinged. Alright. Oh, man. Yes, Nigma. This is what API means for all of us. Oh my god. Oh, it's okay. It's just unhinged how I see that you do understand. But then, oh, Guardian. Nah, Enigma just wanted to make work API difference from regular API and graphic API. Bro. Okay. Can we have some work RAM meme in here? Can we have RAM? How can I search emote? Yep, we've got that work RAM. Work RAM. Alright, how the fuck do I lower that? Oh, fuck this, bro. Fuck this. I'm not... Let's read this. What problem are we solving? We would like to support pre and post blending complex color transformation in displays controller hardware in order to allow for hardware supported HDR use cases, as well as provide support to color manage application such as video or image editors. It is possible to support HDR output on hardware supporting the color space and HDR metadata DRM connector properties, but that requires the compositor or application to render and compose the content into one final buffer intended for display. Doing so is costly. Most modern display hardware offer various 1D LUTs, 3D sluts, and matrices and other operations to support color transformations. These operations are often implemented in fixed function hardware and they therefore much more power efficient than performing similar operation via shaders or CPU. We would like to make use of this hardware functionality to support complex color transformation with no or minimal CPU shader load. The switch between hardware fixed function block and shader CPU must be seamless with no visible difference when fallback to shader CPU is necessary at any time. All right. How are other OSs solving this problem? The most widely supported use case regard HDR content, whether video or gaming. Most OSs will specify the source content format, color gamut, encoding, transfer function, and other metadata such as max and average light level to a driver. The driver will then program their fixed function hardware accordingly to map from a source content buffer space to a display space. When fixed function hardware is not available, the compositor will assemble a shader to ask the GPU to perform the transformation from the source content format to the display format. A compositor's mapping function and a driver's mapping function are usually entirely separate concepts. On OSs where hardware vendors has no insight into closed source compositor code, such a vendor will tune their color management code to visually match the compositors. On other OSs, where both mapping functions are open to an implementer, they will ensure both mappings match. This results in mapping algorithm lock-in, meaning no one alone can experiment with or introduce new mapping algorithms and achieve consistent result regardless of which implementation path is taken. Why is Linux different? Unlike other OSs where there is one compositor for one or more driver, on Linux we have a many-to-many relationship. Many compositors, many drivers. In addition, each compositor vendor or community has their own view on how color management should be done. This is what makes Linux so beautiful. Okay, this means that hardware vendors can now no longer tune their driver to one compositor, as tuning it to one could make it look fairly different from another compositor's color mapping. We need a better solution. Descriptive API. An API that describes the source and destination color spaces is a descriptive API. It describes the input and output color spaces, but does not describe how precisely they should be mapped. Such a mapping includes many minute design decision that can greatly affect the look of the final result. It is not feasible to describe such mapping with enough detail to ensure that the same result from each implementation. In fact, these mapping are a very active research area. Prescriptive API. A prescriptive API describes not the source and destination color space, it instead prescribes a recipe for how to manipulate pixel values to arrive at a desired outcome. Okay, this recipe is generally an ordered list of straightforward operation with clear mathematical definition, such as 1D LUTS, 3D LUTS, matrices, and other operation that can be described in a precise manner. The Color Pipeline API. Hardware color management pipeline can significantly differ between hardware vendors in terms of availability, ordering, and capabilities of hardware blocks. This makes a common definition of color management block and their ordering nigh impossible. Okay, like impossible? Reddit, what the fuck is this? Instead, we are defining an API that allows user to discover the hardware capabilities in a generic manner, agnostic of specific drivers and hardware. Fuck it, we're continuing the read. To support the definition of color pipeline, we define the DRM core object type DRM color rope. Okay, color OP. Individual DRM color OP object will be chained via the next property of a DRM color OP to constitute a color pipeline. Each DRM color OP object is unique. Even if multiple color pipeline have the same operation, they won't share the same DRM color OP object to describe that operation. Okay. Note that... I don't understand that last phrase. Note that drivers are not expected to map DRM color OP objects statically to specific hardware blocks. The mapping of DRM color OP object is entirely a driver internal detail that can be as dynamic or static as a driver needs it to be. See more in driver implementation guide. Okay. Each DRM color OP has 3 core properties. Type, an enumeration property defining the type of transformation, such as enumerated curves, custom uniform 1D LUT, 3-3 matrix, 3-4 matrix, 3D LUT. Depending on the type of transformation, other properties will describe more detail. Bypass, a Boolean property that can be used to easily put a block into bypass mode. This bypass property is not mandatory for color OP, as long as the entire pipeline can get bypassed by setting the color pipeline on a plane to 0. Next, the ID of the next DRM color OP in the color pipeline, or 0 if the DRM color OP is the last in the chain. Okay, that's getting fucking interesting. An example of DRM color OP object might look like this one. Okay, so here we have an operation, number 42. Okay. DRM color OP extensibility. Unlike existing DRM core objects like pointer, that would be pointer, right? It's there to store a pointer. Pointer DRM plane, DRM color OP is not extensible. This simplifies implementation and keeps all functionality for managing color OP objects in DRM core. If there is a need, one may introduce a simple DRM color OP function table in the future. For example, to support an in-format property on a DRM color OP. If a driver requires the ability to create a driver-specific color OP object, they will need to add a DRM color OP func table support for the usual function, like destroy atomic duplicate state, atomic destroy state. All right, I think I get it. Bro. Okay, so I hope everybody will be able to complete the exam, okay? So what is a LUT? No, I'm memeing. I don't even know myself. I see you texting, okay? I see you all with your phones. You're all texting, I know. Okay, Enigma. I think MB where is kind of triggered. It's okay, Enigma. My issue whenever I argue with you is it feels like your definitions are fluid, but you will feel strongly about it, which is like impossible. It's a non-state. No, but Nigma, you get that. Nigma, you fucking... Nigma. You cannot have somebody that describes API as like a set of rules that are implemented, and then you say, well, that's not what an API is. Like, as soon as you do that, you're unhinged to most people. And whenever someone goes about arguing like that, and you're like, yes, but no, but maybe yes, everybody's going to feel like fucked. I don't think that Nigma means anything rude. I just think that he is who he is. With all of the social inadequacy he has, okay? Please do not take anything Nigma says as being rude. I don't believe that that's what he's trying to do. But MBWare is just right, and you're wrong, Nigma. So shut the fuck up. Back to work, okay? Okay. Let's do a TLDR of what I've learned for now. So from my understanding, inside of the... Let's make this shit bigger. So here we have the DRM code, right? So that's the in-kernel code for GPU and drivers and shit. So inside of that, we are now going to have a couple of new things. So let's take the AMD GPU driver, right? The DRM side of things. So you will need to have implementation inside of each driver for the DRM underscore color OP. Okay, so you will need to be able to process these items, right? So what the external world will be able to do is it will be able to say, okay, I have this list of color OP items that I want you to apply whenever processing this frame. So it will be able, through the color pipeline, to give it directly to the driver, which then should be able to either execute these or pass them along to hardware that is physically able to process these if we have like hardware that is capable of doing so. So for now, that's the idea. We pass a list of rules that we apply on, well, they will say a plane, So we'll read about that. No, Nigma, you're just wrong. Okay, Nigma, he's triggered because you... Okay. Socially, the way that you say things sometimes is big attack, right? You clearly don't see it, but you are like, you're pretty much saying you're a fucking retard for thinking this. But after that, when we ask you to back up something, you're not even at the same place. Okay. Okay. Let's... I know MB wants to go to other things, and I know, Nigma, you want to go to other things. No. Nigma, it's not about being polite. It's that you're not you don't know what you're saying. You just don't, okay? And I'm not saying about API. I'm saying about socially. No. Cardian, Nigma, MB... We close it here, okay? This is my last word. Or else I'll start fucking timing out people. Let's... Yeah, man, always wrong. Let's leave it at there, okay? Yes, Q-King brings peace. Banning hammers. MV is like... it's fucking charge. And by the way, Q-King, why the fuck aren't you... Like, you're supposed to be that. All right. So, a Maple stream in normal Dutch time. This is new. Yes. Should be 3 times a week now. So, woo. Hi, Rust. Hi, Q-King. Hi, both of you. Yay. What's that video? Okay, I know the meme, but this is probably giga copyrighted. But that was a good one. Yeah, okay. Okay, I don't want to skip what, like, MBWare was trying to ask me. If there are multiple different pipeline needed for different application, how will that work? I think from my reading from now, the idea is to make... Okay, let's go back to this. Whoop. Hardware, kernel, so DRM. And we have, like, the compositor, just to make it simple. So the idea is that this new object, this DRM underscore, fuck, I'll put it here, color OP, this new object, right, this new thing is standard. It is giga standard, right? So there's a set amount of function of things that you can do with these, right? Let's say that there's a list of 100 things, right? So now this compositor can, if there's a special application that has like compatibility for these. So if you have an app for video editing, right? It would have knowledge of these specific objects. So it would be able to say to the compositor, hey buddy, I've got all of that information. I can take it away from here. So then the compositor could say, okay, so for that specific plane, for that specific chunk of space, let that guy set let that application set the color OP thing. Let them set the modifiers on that frame. And for other things, the compositor could take over and could then send that over to the kernel. And that, what the kernel, well, fuck. Let's what the kernel would do is it would then send it to the driver. So let's say that the current driver is AMD. And when I say the driver, I am talking about still inside of the RM. And now each driver needs to have the implementation for these objects to process them. So they would technically need 2 implementation, right? Because they would need to be able to process it if there is hardware for it and if there is no hardware for it, right? Because the hardware may be able to do these operations, or it may also not be able to. So that's my understanding for now. And that's why it's OP. It's because we can now standardize whatever the fuck the app is asking for and whatever the fuck the driver needs to do and what you should be doing as a compositor instead of just flattening the image like a retard. Play it at 2x speed to bypass copyright. It wasn't working like 10 years ago to do that, so it won't be working today. Sounds like you have experience with that, lol. Depends with what you were saying. My own. God, I've missed so much while I was sleeping. The other streams. I might have to live on 4 hours of sleep to understand it again. Ah, we're doing kernel research. We're not doing anything related to KernelInfo. So right now we're doing the research for the next video. Right? For 6.19, that's why. Like, don't worry. We're not yapping about something else. Home servers are a bit loud. Have a good sleep next to not if you have heard an ML3. What are those? I want to see them to see if I've heard them. I want to relate with this shit. Oh, okay. Alright. Alright. I get it. Yes. Right now, Nigma and MBE are sharing one brain, and it's not a good thing. I love it. I love it too. The most optimized neuron there ever was. Alright, we've got to read all of this. I'm not like fucking God controlling like the Matrix. I'll fucking control your brain. He is secretly. No, you know what? I'm not God. I'm making an experiment where you're both on the same computer, but all of your memory is shared memory. So you're just like trying to suicide each other on the memory. And sometime one of you will just go like, fuck it, I'll print zeros into it. I'll just print zeros. One brain, but 4 brain cells. Now ban me. Based. Brain random access memory. Based. For real, if one day we manage to like upload our consciousness to like some kind of computer, how fucking unhinged would it be that we could like /dev/random somebody? Oh, that's some strong shit. Wait, what? That was my actual name. Brain Random Access Memory or BRAM? Q King. That's why you're king? I'm confused. Okay, now I'm completely confused. But anyway. Well, technically... Okay. But since I can't endure people saying it, I use Q King. Oh. I've never heard that. But that's all good. If you prefer Q King, we'll go with Q King, okay? Because you're clearly the Q on that Discord. The cool hardware freak down. Alright. Let's not go down that path. I'll go take a fucking leak, and when we're back, we're reading whatever the fuck the color pipeline plane property means, okay? We're reading this shit. Water. Alright. Bitch. Okay, maybe that's rude. You are kinda a cheater. What are you going to teach today? Dance! What is your opinion about Rust in the kernel, you all? The god is back! I'm going to Palpatine your ass. Okay. Color pipeline plane property. Color pipeline are created by a driver and advertised via the new color pipeline enum property on each plane. Okay, I think that when they say driver, they mean like user side driver. Anyway, values of the property always include object ID is 0, which is the default, means all color processing is disabled. Additional values will be the object ID of the first DRM color OP in a pipeline. A driver can create and advertise none, one, or more possible color pipelines. A DRM client will select a color pipeline by setting the color pipeline to a respective value. Okay, no, I'm the only maple based. Alright, I think that I'm giga retarded. This does not compute. I'll read more. What I said about driver is most likely not true. They're talking about the DRM driver, the one inside the kernel. Note, many DRM client will set enumeration property via the string value, often hard-coded in. Since this enumeration is generated based on the color OP object ID, it is important to perform the color pipeline discovery described below, instead of hard-coding color pipeline assignment. Drivers might generate the enum strings dynamically. Hard-coded strings might only work for specific drivers on specific pieces of hardware. Color pipeline discovery can work usually as long as drivers implement the required color operations. Okay. So to be able to get started on making the pipeline, you need to make the discovery. And you do that by asking DRM, hey, what the fuck are you able to do? That's what I get from all this. PHP dev. Everybody does PHP because they have no choice. Nobody went out of their way to learn PHP, right? Can we agree on this? It's PHP should be known for coercion because this is what it is. The color pipeline property is only exposed when the DRM client cap plain color pipeline is set. What the fuck? Driver shall ignore any existing pre-blend color operation when this cap is set, such as color range, color encoding. Okay, so I think that what they're saying here is if you're using the new color pipeline thing, you are automatically bypassing the legacy way of blending colors, I guess. Which would make sense. If drivers want to support color range, color encoding functionalities, when the color pipeline client cap is set, they are expected to expose color ups in the pipeline to allow for the appropriate color transformation. Alright, so in another way... Okay, yes, what I said is right, it's just if you want to use the old way with the new way, you need to set it in the new way. Alright, makes sense. Nigma, you're such a publicity. You're such a publicity. Setting of the color pipeline plane property or DRM color up property is only allowed for user space that set this client cap. Did I skip something like a retard? No. Okay. An example for a an example of a color pipeline property on a plane might look like this. Plane 10, type, overlay primary cursor, equals primary. Color pipeline, and then we point to a color pipeline. and then it can execute that color pipeline. Right? Like it can execute this shit then. Because you always talk about NCE engine, but only you knows what it is. And just by saying that, you're going to start to say like everything about it. Now, JS, I mentioned. Do you know what real torture is? Inserting the multi-boot header in an OS from scratch. Took me 3 weeks, I think. You guys are fucking sadistic. No, masochist, right? You like hurting yourself. I hated my time doing PHP. Yeah, that's a feeling for most people. JS. We love PHP. True, Nigma should do a fucking article. Nigma should go into the section where you can put your progress, not your progress, your project, and you should describe it all there. Yes, I am. I prefer torture by C. And you, Maple? I prefer torturing myself doing documentation, okay? That's what I'm born to do. That's all I'm good at, okay? Streaming, yapping, and docs. So whatever fucking language gets me there, this is what I'm going to do. It's called Defense Copium for the Mental Torment. DC Engine, I guess. Alright. Okay. I mean, fucking hell. MB sent me some video about, like, some optimization that we were talking on stream. And now I really want to do some C. But this retarded is just to, like, fulfill my fantasy of optimizing shit. I want optimize shit. I'm retarded. There's nothing else to it. I'm just a retard. That's true, Guardian. That's the big difference, right? C will let you know that you're a retard by making sure that some shit won't work. Other things, they will let you go. They will let you go on, and you're gonna be like 2 months into it, and you're gonna be like, I'm so retarded. By the way, when is there a new elephant vid coming out? Old vid do not work with new kernel and HID. Well, the old vid never really worked. They worked by pure luck. I wanted to work on that on LFN, but to be honest, right now I'm way too deep into KernelInfo. So after researching for this kernel release, we're doing KernelInfo again. And I don't know if I'll be able to make an LFN series. Like, the idea that I have to do everything inside of a container seems to work really fucking great. It's just a lot of time for not a lot of things. I don't feel like I can explain a lot. I don't feel like it's a good video. There will be optimization opportunities with KernelInfo, absolutely. Well, I've already done the new LFN, right? That's what's unhinged about it. So, is this the one, or was it Docker LFN? Fuck. Oh no, that's just an image. Okay. Like, if you want an LFN that works, all of this works. It works perfectly. Gives you all the detail you need to have. No video about it, though. And it goes down up until Xorg. Xorg does not work at all, okay? I saw how much fucking dumb shit I needed to do to make this work, and I was like, okay, we're not doing this. Print K is gone. Print K is gone. Okay. Flashbang. Beep. Woonies gooey anyway. True. That was my feeling, but like okay, there's this fucking issue whenever you make a video and you like details, is that you end up like being in this position where you go down so many fucking rabbit holes and you try to be precise on everything that you end up doing fucking nothing, right? So that's a big issue with LFN. If I want to make a good video, I'll need to delve so much fucking time. But then, all of that time is wasted time that I could have done a real project with real value for real fucking people, instead of making it for like 10k people on YouTube. Like, you know what? If it was my job, absolutely. I would do it in a heartbeat because it gets a fuck ton of views. But apart from that, no, it's fucking useless. Alright. Think fast, knuckle nuts. He hates his viewers. Yes, I actually do. I actually do hate the average viewer. I hate the fact that the way to make views is to be retarded. Like, I hate the fact that we that whenever you go on the too smart side, like, anyway. Okay, I have yes. Yes, because it's a fucked up feeling, okay? It's a fucked up feeling to go through making all of these notes for a release and feeling that there is a very big probability that the video will get 10k views on it. Now, 10k views might sound like a lot, but it ain't shit. So, 10k is what Brody gets by saying Microsoft fucked my duck. Right? So... Anyway. Let's keep on... Your brain will slowly mend. Yes, by reading your message, my brain will mend. A DRM client wants color management on a DRM plane. Will get the color pipeline property of the plane. Iterate all color pipeline. I think the person that is supposed to give me the mail is like thinking that I'm a giga retard because I didn't shovel the driveway. Because I don't have enough fuel for my fucking snowblower. And because I didn't want to go get some fuel this morning. Because my fucking gallon, my jerry can, is fucking broken. So I need to buy a new one. God! It fucked my duck. Need more red circles. True. True. Okay. I'm so triggered today. Germany is the answer for everything somehow. You're so right. The answer to Germany gave money to an open source project is they probably want to backdoor it somehow. What the fuck is this world? Please kill me. Please. Please do. Please don't, but please fucking do. This world is unhinged. Okay. There is a little snow forecasted for Thursday. I'll go buy one tonight. Schrodinger maple. Yes. I'm so schizo right now. Iterate all color pipeline enum values. For each enum values, walk the color pipeline via the next pointer and see if the available color operation are suitable for desired color management operation. If user space encountered an unknown or unsuitable color operation during the discovery, it does not need to reject the entire color pipeline outright, as long as the unknown unsuitable has a bypass property. The kernel will ensure that the bypassed block does not have any effect. I'm so confused right now. Okay, let me read that shit again. If user space encounters an unknown or unsuitable color operation during discovery, it does not need to reject the entire color pipeline outright, as long as the unknown or unsuitable color OP has a bypass property. Ain't that fucking retarded? Why would you put that into your... Oh, okay, bypass just means that it could be bypass. And you wouldn't, like, reject everything based off of that. But if it has it, it will use it. Okay, now I think I'm getting what the use of bypass is. Where the fuck is bypass written? Bypass, a Boolean property that can be used to easily put a block into bypass mode. The bypass property is not mandatory for color OP, as long as the entire pipeline can be bypassed by the setting of color pipeline on a plane to 0. I don't fucking get it. Oh, fuck. Okay, right now I'm having two issues. Who sets bypass? Right? Because right now I understand that we have a color OP list. We have that list. That list is created by the user, right? So somewhere in user space this shit is created. And the kernel has like a plane of possible color operation that it can do. So it has that list. So we go and we compare the two to make sure that we have all of the operations that are in there are supposed to be in there, because or else we wouldn't be able to do it. Now, if I understand correctly, on this side, you could have somewhere that is written bypass, yes, that would allow you to not have this feature and not reject the whole pipeline. I think. Because if it's the other way around, it feels fucking retarded, right? If you have bypass here, and like the DRM side is just, okay, guess we're bypassing this feature. Well, how do you make sure that like the colors will be okay? DRM is just like brutally removing some thing. At Maple, what if the clown journal is right? Where is your research? You know what? Before I would say that that's a good argument, right? It's a good argument. We don't have a proof, we don't have... But they are making the claim. They are making the claim, right? If I were to say that he's a pedophile, I would have to put up some arguments for it. And he ain't. Okay? So, just like yesterday, I'll reiterate, until Londuc proves that Germany is putting some back doors, he's a pedophile. It's that simple. I've heard some allegations, he's raped some kids. Some people say. Nigma skips half a stream. What do we get? Londuc is a pedophile. Allegedly, Londuc is a pedophile. I've heard some people complain about him. An example of chain property to define an AMD pre-blending color pipeline might look like. Okay. Because Rust is making... Because that's what Rust is talking about. If you say so, it must be true. Exactly, Cardian. He must be a pedophile, because allegedly he is. And I've heard a lot of people say he is. So that means he is. Color pipeline programming. Once a DRM client has found a suitable pipeline, it will. Oh! Wait, I think I got something, and I'll talk about it. You know, I usually run around. Okay, Enigma. Enigma, it is not a programmer thing to be depressed or suffer. Everyone is. Everyone. Everyone feels bad. Everyone is depressed. You need to find your own way to not be. Alright? I'm not depressed because every day I walk towards greatness and I will do what is right for me, my family, and my fucking country, okay? This is why I'm not depressed. Because I'm fucking based. And I'm investing in oil, goddammit, and right now the prices are going high. So you know what? I'm in. Okay. Do I need to be concerned? No, we don't need to. We don't need to be concerned. Holy shit. Yes. Okay, back to color pipes. He cannot be stopped. I cannot be stopped. Still making my OS in C, so you're not alone, based. Set the color pipeline enum value to the one pointing at the first DRM color OP object of the desired pipeline. Set the properties for all DRM objects in the pipeline to the desired values, setting bypass to true for unused DRM color OP blocks and false for enabled DRM color OP blocks. Perform test only or not atomic commits with all the other KMS state it wishes to change. To configure the pipeline for an HDR10 PQ plane blending in linear space, a compositor might perform an atomic commit with the following property. Okay, I think I get it. Let me explain this. So my issue came from the fact that I thought that the possible list of color OP instructions, that there could only be one. But that's retarded. right? Because what if the compositor has like a list of lists, right? The compositor could have one list like that, and it could say, okay, if list number 1 fails, then go to list number 2. If list number 2 fails, then go to list number 3. And while initializing, it could just go through the list, get the optimized one, get the optimal one, and then push that one to be used everywhere, right? Same thing with an app. It could do the same thing to get the best result. So I think that that's what they're talking about when they're talking about bypass, is they're talking within the test, is it something that we can skip, right? So they have this little value that says, okay, this is skippable, the other are not skippable. And whenever you hit one that has all the function, or only is missing skippable ones, you can use this one. I think I get it. Damn, YouTube censored my comments based. I don't know, can I see it? Nope. My day's going so fucking well. How could it not go well? Okay. How could it not go well? I'm getting fucking unhinged. You know what? I should fucking stream everything. Always. Brother, you say that you're sorry about that every time. You don't have to. Okay? Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares. Everybody cares about having fun and a good yap. Okay? That's what people care about. You don't have to be sorry about forgetting. You need coffee. Maybe, but I won't. I'm getting even more depressed. I wanted more RAM. Oh my god. But those prices are insane. Okay, we need a GoFundMe for Q King so he can get more RAM. I mean, okay, maybe that's retarded. Does the use case that you have really need more RAM? Or you could just swap it the fuck out, right? Couldn't you just put an NVMe in whatever the fuck you have? And would it do the job? That's the most in this economy statement that I have done today. Besides, of course, the Bank of Canada speech of this morning. That global statement of truth is false because I care about you. Aw. Just still your local data center. Talk about MBE about it. RAM equals RAM that equals RAM that equals RAM. If they can still, so we can. I don't think that they... Okay, yes, they do. Okay, AI, yes, for training, they do. Okay, I'll... Guardian is on point. Cores is greater than RAM. Bandwidth would disagree with you. I can't use swap for my use cases. Oh, bro. Well, what the fuck, right? What the fuck are we going to do? Alright. The new DRM caller pipeline has been added to the kernel. Perfect time to do it. Okay, there's nobody there. Psst. He has the RAM. Let's corner him. I actually have the RAM. That's true. Okay. If you want to come and Like, I'll keep the door unlocked. Please don't break my window. For real, I would much prefer my RAM being stolen than my windows being broken, okay? I'll leave the door unlocked. Come and steal my RAM. I'm all in. Oh my god. In winter in Quebec? God damn. The windows need to stay on. Alright. And yes, you can only achieve that usage of RAM through 160 Chrome tabs or one single unit of kernel info, okay? It's one or the other. It's one or the other. You're not that far from here, thinking about it. It's actually so amusing to think Robert, instead of graphing anything in your house, goes for your damn RAM. Well, just think about it. What's valuable in my house, right? Like if you wanted to resell it. Like by density, it is the most valuable thing that I have. Yeah. Things have become so fucking cheap. No, you know what? There's one thing. That camera. That Lumix, okay? That Lumix, yeah, that would fuck me up. But apart from that, yes. I don't think I have anything else that's more valuable than that. That's unhinged. The heat is what is valuable. In Quebec, yes, absolutely. The heat is more valuable. Well, technically, Enigma, printer ink is more valuable than all of that. Alright. Fuck, I'm never going to be able to explain this. Fuck me. Close to what I run. Well, it depends. Nigma, it depends if you are laughing. Well, it's not. There's no issue with laughing like evilly at something. You just might sound fucking retarded, right? That's a big issue. Oh, I do have extra ink. Any buyer? I'll sell cheap for you. The truth is, ink can be cheap. You just need to not be retarded in how you buy your printer. Although I don't know. Whenever I left my prior job as a computer technician, it was getting harder. It was getting harder to get a good printer with cheap ink. So, yeah. Closed source still I optimize it. This means it closed source forever, brother. How does it feel, bitch? How does it feel? Why? Why not just use something that doesn't use ink? You know, this is how I normally live my life, but the government doesn't agree. The government's like, you want to send your kid to a daycare? Want to send them to some fine people to take care of her? You gotta print. Just use a pencil and get really good at drawing things. Yes, official documents. Like, we need a meme, like, using a 3D printer to, like, actually print it. Well, technically, you could use a vinyl cutter, and it would do it. Because it is meant for it. It actually can. So, yeah. Okay. Will I be able to fucking write anything, or we're just memeing here? We're just fucking memeing. Color pipeline API. We're just fucking memeing. I guess I'll write tonight instead. Nigma be like. Yep. Take a look at the media channel. Alright, I'm in. You can tell when I'm trying... Because I'm acting like Ned. You're not really acting like Ned, but there are some parallels. I'll admit it. Pretends a little that the printed novel would clutter up, and I would... yeah, that's a big problem. What's your model, MBWare? Oh, bro. Alright, that's why you were saying that. I get it. That's... Yeah, that's... Or... Okay, that one is kind of funny. I know that for sure you have more hard drive than that on that, but it's kind of funny. Like having more RAM than hard drive. That's a good one. 8 terabytes on the other disk. Okay, okay. That's a good meme. Okay, good meme. HP, yeah, HP is very bad for that. You need to do the printing thing. Brother, well, first of all, Brother Printer, they used to be the best, but they got on the HP train. I have an old one, and like you can wait for like 3 months without using it, and you have a 50-50% chance that it's fucked. But when it's fucked, you just print one page and you're good to go. Guys, it's 2026. Where is my food printer? True. And beware, you would guess that after... Well, it's not that you're reversing the problem. How costly should a printer be? How much should a printer cost? If you're saying $200 or $300, you're delusional. And if you're saying $50, you're delusional too. The problem is that people don't know how much something should cost, so they get surprised whenever some part of the price is offloaded to something else. So in printers, when you buy the printer, you're not paying the full cost, but when you pay the ink, you're paying the full cost. So if you want to pay a printer with the full cost up front, they do exist, but they cost more, and often they're more shitty. So for people, at least in North America, you go to Costco, right? You have the fucking printer with the big thing with the ink cartridge. I don't know why, but these fucking things, they clog up so much. And if you fuck up in your timing of changing, like of adding ink into it, they will die. Like legitimately, nothing to do. Your printhead is fucked, gone. And some of them don't have a printhead that you can change. So, big rip. I used to have a laser cutter. That was a fun thing. Like, it's fucking powerful to engrave metal. But like, what do you want to do with that? Right? There's not much that you can do with that. It's a good meme. But for a like 10K tool, nah, not worth it. I read something about an open source printer a few months ago. Like, nothing will fix this, right? Because of the price thing, it will never be cost effective to do that open source thing, and it will always be shitty. Because then there's another problem that add on to it. Let's say that we fix, like we put the fair price on the thing so it costs more. Then we need to produce enough of it so that like enough people buy it so that the price is at a reasonable place, which it won't. So there's always a problem. The power is completely stuck there. I would have to... Oh, we're talking about something else. I used to use a laser printer, but again, not printing enough, left some ink on the roller, and now all the prints are dirty. Yes, normally it's not because you're not printing enough, it is because of humidity that this happens. But most laser printer, if your laser printer has been made like more than 5 years ago, all the pieces can be bought for pretty cheap. So it could be an option. I say pretty cheap, but if it's industrial enough, it might cost a fuck ton, so then you're screwed. Power is completely stuck there. I would have to change the roller. Yeah. If you want a Canadian seller that sometimes has some like great price, 123 ink, I would get a lot from them. And for printers and shit, they were really good. Like their price and what they're selling is quality. So yeah. I would print an Happy Meal every day. True. I would show the manufacturing costs. Yes, that's just you, Nigma. Providing that that thing up front is not only not good for you as a company because you make probably less sales, because people would like see this as them being screwed whenever they buy the ink, but also it would be bad for your stocks because you would look retarded. Laser printer can be very good. And beware, like, I would ask, what's the, in the room that the printer is in, if it can get humid, you've got your answer. Because it's really rare for me to see a fucked up laser printer. Or, I'm sorry, there's another way. There's some laser printer that are very retarded in their mechanism, and they clog up often. And whenever you go on to remove the page from the mechanism when it gets stuck, you can literally, like, break the... I just have the French word, the tambour, whatever, like, rotates and bakes the page. So, yeah. Is there a 123 ink CA as well? Well, it's Canadian. Right? It comes from Canada, literally. They're the same that do Prime Cable and other shit. Yes, of course. 123 ink. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's another company. Ooh, it's another company. That might be why. Alright, don't know about them. But .ca. Whoops. There's some good folks. And it's all Canadians. Yay, we've got a little... Why Air Canada? Bro. FAQ. No? We don't have like the... Oh yes! Straight from Vaudreuil-Dorion, Quebec. Alright. Yeah, when the printer is a bit too big, it's fucked. But products in general have the same issue. You get that, right? The problem is that, okay, the same reason why people feel bad whenever their neighbor make more than them is the same reason why you cannot put the price of a thing, like the real manufacturing price on the thing, because people would not buy it just because they feel like they're being screwed, even though it makes no sense. Just think about Apple for a minute. Like, you get that Apple are literally publicly saying, yes, we make 50% margin on our iPhone, but they would never write that on the side of the iPhone while selling it. That would be unhinged. Well, do you even need a printer in most cases? Right. And I would like a society that would not have to fucking print. That would be fun. I am not for the profit, but honesty. You know that that's retarded, right? If my job is to be a computer repairman, I'm on the street and I repair computers. If I have too much work, like all of my days are full, and I put my price up because I want to make more profit, but I also want to work less and to discriminate to get the jobs that make the big bucks. How is this bad? And how is this not honest? It is the market. What's wrong? I am aware that it's a dream idea, but come on, let's be optimistic. No, it's because, okay, that's what's triggering me, Nigma, sometime, okay? You say, oh, it's a dream idea, like, it's a dream, but the world that you're explaining is worse. Like, it's not, it doesn't help anything. It's like saying, you know what? I would like to live in a world where there's no ice shooting in the US because everybody is trapped in a jail cell. Like, this world is not superior. Oh my god. Oh, it's too much for the US to have a brain. Yes, but okay. Like we all agree that whenever we want to have a backup, there's like multiple parts of the backup. There's a there's the cost. There's the capacity per like volume, or the easy access, we could say. But there's also the time that it takes to destroy itself, right? The whoops, my data is fucked variable. And paper would absolutely fuck that up. Holy shit. Did they smoke crack? Bro, there ain't no way that somebody thought of this and was like, this must be like a college fucking project. And it's like, okay, I need to pass the exam. I know it's retarded. It's always been fucking retarded. Okay, what's created as a joke? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lord. Okay, we're good. We're back. No in every term. I do not have the parasitic predator mindset. What the fuck does that even mean? This is just for fun. Yeah, it's just for fun. Nigma, this is the issue, right? What I'm criticizing is not even necessarily what you say, okay? So this is the words that you say, okay? This is the words that you say. Oh, I fucking love doing boxes, okay? So this is the words that you say. I'm not criticizing this, okay? Well, maybe on the front of it, on the face of it, what I'm criticizing is the mind. It is you, okay? It is the mind, your state of mind, to come up with these words. Okay? So what I'm saying is the system you have inside of your mind that states these things is not linked to reality. So I can criticize the words, but your view of like capitalism as parasitic or like profiting as bad is a failure. That's why I went with this example of what if I'm a person on the road and my service are used a lot. I was trying to make the market example to not only say that your words were not correct, but also say that like whatever you've got in your mind right now is infected by a mind virus. Books changed my mind. I don't read books. I'm not able to. Punch card. Mind virus. Yes. Oh, not the fucking woke mind virus, you dipshit. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying capitalism because you can point at something enough that it becomes obvious. Right? Okay. Okay, let's say Cardian, okay? No, I'll take Rust, okay? Let's say that I say that... Fuck it. Let's say that I say that Londukes love diddling kids. And that Londukes loves sleeping with kids a lot. And that Londukes touches kids inappropriately. Everybody can agree that I'm saying that Londuke is a pedophile. Right? That's what I'm doing here. You can say, you can criticize a system enough so that then I can say this, like this, the system that you criticize, I'll name it and I'll say that your criticism is bad. Not me. Oh my god. Okay, what the fuck? If you had to store something for 100 years, how would you do it? I would do it inside of a 3D prism and engrave it in glass. No, of course, I'll put it on the cloud and pay for it, you fucking retards. Oh yeah, let's put it on fucking cylinders. Okay. How could Londuke do that? Who the fuck knows? Market is, you give stuff, you get stuff back. Simple. Yes, I will take that seriously, and E is right. Oh my god, punch cards. Okay, social experiment idea. Put 100% in a room and put a stick of DDR5 in the middle. Who will go for safety? Who will try to get the RAM at all cost? It depends. Do I have somebody to protect in that room? Because I would absolutely kill for that stick, okay? You won't know. Okay. I'll fucking go swinging. Just once. I'll go swinging for one stick. Is it 32 gig? I'm in. I'll have to buy a motherboard for it, but who gives a fuck? Oh man. I would remove the necessity to store said information. Oh my god, that would be so funny. That would be so funny that, like, we have a whole story. Like, what would you do if you had to store things for 100 years? And it ends up with government regulation was removed and the data could be kept for only 15 years. That would be so dumb. Oh man. No dual channel with one stick. You don't dare touch my RAM. I'll come swinging, bitch. Everybody forget everything by taking a pill to forget everything. Alright? I guess. I don't know what that meant. I should not make an ASMR channel. Enigma. Are you having an erection? What the fuck? I am not touching it. ASML channel instead. True. We come in for TSMC. I'm traumatized. What did that come to your mind? Because ASMR is like, okay, ASMR for a guy. I don't know. It doesn't give me good vibes. Maybe that's just my toxic masculinity talking, okay? But it sounds weird to me. What is ASMR, Maple? ASMR is... Oh fuck, the different side of ASMR. ASMR for ladies, okay, is making the little tap 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 tap. doing things like this, putting some fucking lipsticks, doing some sounds, doing these things. ASMR for guys is watching a cute bimbo masturbate the microphone and you feeling like you're getting like a ride. Okay? This is what comes to my brain whenever a guy talks to me about ASMR. And yes, this is fucking giga sexist of me, okay? But I don't give a fuck. Yes, exactly. ASMR is not supposed to have a sexual connotation, but now it does because of OnlyFans and other... Well, just because of general kinks of people. I have nothing against them having a kink, right? It's okay for them, like, getting a fucking erection by masturbating the mic. But... like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, if you're a guy and you love that, I don't understand. I just don't understand ASMR in the first place. I don't give a fuck. Right? I mean, we could go back to, like, the politics discussion of, like, what is fucking culture? I just don't understand. Speaking of kinks, Rust is, like, shoving his fucking dick on the table. He doesn't give a shit. He's easier to introduce it. ASMR for males or gunshot? Nah. When Maple OF? I don't know. I would need to be pretty fucked to do that. It's okay that you don't. Yes, MB, it adds an awkwardness to it, right? It is. But, like, I would not be able to speak about it anyway. Because I don't understand it. But I know that some people get great relief from it, right? And we ought not judge other people getting relief from things. I am so innocent. Don't look at the bodies behind the shack, officer. What the fuck? We need a place dedicated to Nigma's confusing message that appear once in a while. Yes, we already have one meme that we have integrated. It is the work RAM. We have fully integrated the work RAM, okay? I am just a guy existing. How did we go from talking about printers to kinks? You're right, we didn't pass by the Holocaust. So let's talk about Nazis now. Brother, you know as much as I do that printers are sexy. That... Okay, we can go from one subject to another because we're memeing, okay? We're having fun. How to use that emoji though? You just copy and paste, or you write RAM, which is kind of funny. Yeah, don't judge me. I love printers. That's like the mechanophile, right? The people that, like, fuck their exhaust of their car. Like, what? What, Rust? You did not know that that existed? Wait, you must be joking. Like, this is a known thing. 123 Inc. is not safe for work based. Yes. There are some people that go above and beyond the natural attraction to a car and make it sexual. It is a thing. Ning. We don't judge you. Maple knows too much. Let's neutralize him. Is it bad that I am aware of that? But not about ASMR. No, there's nothing bad. You can be aware of the worst porn in the world. Nobody gives a shit. And no, I am not attracted to this. I will defend my honor. I thought they would only marry the car. Well, people will marry a lot of things, but like they derived sexual pleasure from it. Also, don't worry, we won't judge you. We're all guys talking here. Maple streams you like Colonel, Printer, King, sexual relation with let's add inanimate objects. No, I don't know. It doesn't feel fun to talk about any kink. But there are some kinks that I can understand, and there are some kinks that I have no fucking idea how you get there. I think I can understand for the car part, right? Because kinks... Okay, kinks... We're going down theory, okay? We're going down theory here. Kinks are probably like strongly related with strong emotion. And there are emotions with independence that comes with the fact that you have a car, that you can go anywhere, and that you love having that car. So maybe people will do like a fucked up association on that level, right? I feel like everything I'll say will be like you can speak about it, Maple, you can speak. No. Cover your ears. You can. Yes, I can. Right? There are other things that feels like foreign to me, but this is feasible. Like personally, I don't understand people that treat inanimate objects as if they have like moral value or like they have any attachment to it. Personally, the day that my car broke, it went to the trash, okay? It went for the metal, and I got a new one. My sweet, sweet Subaru. No, it's not a Subaru, it's a Chrysler. But red cars still. Alright, Maple, alright, Maple. You do not need to make excuses. Oh no. Nobody is normal, and I also want to know everything, but time is short. Most prioritize things. Yeah. I covered my ears. Tell me when the stream is family friendly again. Subaru mention. Yeah, I said Subaru because like when I think about somebody that would do that type of thing, he's got a Subaru Lancer. Right? He's got the fucking Subaru. Is that the car? Am I retarded? Oh no, not the Lancer. Lancer is something else. It's Subaru. Which one? Fuck. Maybe this? This! Yeah, that's the car that I'm thinking about. Whatever the fuck this is. Andrew needed to be here. True! Don't worry, Roomba. The bad man on stream is far. I love you. 7K reward points? Yes. Oh, they changed the color. Add Andrew, do you love cars? We need Andrew. I don't know, I'm kind of wondering now that we're talking about cars. Some of you being EU fucks means that you don't have a car. So you don't even fucking know, like, anything related to this. Like, the independence part of a car must be fucking foreign to you. This is weird. This is weird. I only have a bike. I mean, there's some... Maybe it can be kind of related. Take the sentiment of freedom that you have with the fact that you can get on your bike and go anywhere and like double it. And that's what a car is like. But with the added fun that you could kill yourself and go way the fuck faster. Oh man. Puns aside. I do think that stuff comes from your mental consciousness finding affection from objects. Yes, people do. I just don't understand why, right? Because I personally don't, or at least I don't think I do. I was without car for 4 years in Quebec City, and also 10 years when I live in Montreal. It makes so much sense to live without a car in Montreal. In Quebec, I've not heard of people doing that, but was it livable? Or was it like a fucking pain? Because in Trois-Rivières, the city is too small. It was great. Oh. Surprising. Well, Quebec City is big. No, Trois-Rivières is kind of small. There's some places that you could like easily live without a car, but like it's limited. MB built different based. Even with a daughter that was 0 to 4. Autocom. What's Autocom? Oh, Communauto. Oh well, but you're cheating then, right? Right, when people say living without a car, we're not assuming that you have access to what is essentially a rental vehicle. Like with that, like of course you could. But it's true that Communauto helps a lot. Well, you're stretching. You're stretching. You're being American here, MB. So Communauto, for those who don't know, is just like a shared car program where everybody like shares a bunch of cars, and there's a bunch of cars everywhere. So stating that it's public transport, like it is better than owning a car. But we have Europeans in the fucking chat, brother. These people are like taking some fucking bus or train. What color is your bike, you fucks? Public transport and quote. The quotes must be so fucking strong. The quotes are holding the entirety of the world on their shoulder. The Dutch have more bikes than humans. Yeah, you do love bikes. It's not my definition. Okay, then I'm saying that the definition is dumb. So, it not being yours. That's okay, but it's still dumb. Well, I don't know. Like, how cold does it get in the Netherlands? Temp. Bro, the fact that I'm like sniping an entire fucking country and I'm asking for its weather. Bro, it's so hot. Okay, you cannot complain. Like, right now it's hot outside. Okay? Right now it's hot. I might buy a car next year here in Brazil. Everything is so fucking far away. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, Enigma's world, it must be cold. But he has no idea. Alright. Cardian, can I ask a fucking racist question for a second? Isn't there a security issue with getting your car stolen in Brazil? Like, all I've heard in my youth is always that Brazil is this fucking bedridden crime hellhole. Like, that's all we heard on TV. And it feels like every time that I hear about it now, it doesn't look that bad. So I'm kind of confused. Except for your medical system. Your medical system is fucking cutthroat as shit. It will let you bleed out on the street. Holy. They don't give a shit. Alright, that's what I would expect, right? So the big cities are fucking hellhole. And everywhere else you're good. That's fair. Here we can just buy a AED. What the fuck is a AED? Automatisch extern defibrillator. So you mean like a thing to restart your heart? Well, technically everybody can buy that. Just why the fuck would you do that? Many depict snow as fluffy. Snow is not always fluffy. Why not? Yeah, I guess. I have 2 first aid box full. Is this a cultural thing? Is this like yes, all public space should have one. Absolutely. I agree. But is this like a thing that is common in the Netherlands? It's my street. It's common. Okay. We don't want to buy anything. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, Enigma, I feel like you're over, There is no way that snow is not fluffy under some condition in fucking Sweden. We need an overthinking competition in Enigma in it. I have a fan that's trying to die. Yep, I'm about to lose a fucking fan. Anyway. Motherfucker, I'm gonna think about it now. Okay. Yes, I'll be your fucking guest. Yes, snow ends up being compacted. But there are different styles of snow. I have a hard time believing that all the snows that come to Sweden is always a wet snow. Okay, well, we can answer that very quickly. Do you guys ski? If you guys ski, okay. If it's not wet, then the only way that it could become solid is by compaction. Skiing is fun, but being that I haven't used my leg muscles for so long, I would kill myself on a ski hill. I would be gonzo. I would go downhill. Yeah, true, Q King. It's you're not in the country for that. Not in the country for that. In Quebec, we got a lot of places. And MBE, you're well placed for that. Never said it was compact initially. So we're here. It's very strong when it's very cold. Which is what I stated. Okay, fuck this. Overthinking competition. Q King, you're so fucking right. Okay, no, I'm not fucking reading this. Not. Alright, what are we even memeing about? What are we... I was trying to write. I'm not going to be able to. There is a competition. Yes, Nigma won. And my endless good faith is fucking me over. 2,640 Dr. Pepper can. Q King be like, what the fuck is snow? You lucky bastard. It's so fucking hot. Oh, man. Nigma. Oh. We're all good. We're all good. No, don't try. Don't try. It's okay. It's okay. What are we even doing? What are we even doing? Don't read. Ignore the Enigma Mind virus. We are distracted trademark. True. Oh, bro, I was reading through this. My video is already too long. What the fuck am I doing? Of course you don't get the confusion. You're creating it. Like, this is the path that we think you want to take us under. This is the path that you take. Right? So we're fucking confused because we're like, wait, where, what, why are you here? Whoa, where? Swedish snow is Swedish snow. I do not believe precipitation can fucking change that much. Alright. Alright, fuck this. I don't see why I'm keeping the stream while, like, research doesn't advance. And I'm too retarded, and I'm just reading chat instead of doing, like... Well, you started arguing that snow isn't fluffy. No. Everybody saw. I was arguing that snow is fluffy, you bitch. I argued that. Fuck you. That's... No. Okay. No. That's pure rage bait, pure. The trick to research is stare at the screen and get more RAM. We're strong. We're getting stronger. RAM. Okay. Oh, bro. Am I poor now? Am I poor? The only stock in my fucking portfolio that's up is oil. No way. We're still up. Okay. Oh my. Okay. I like my memes too much. So, I'm going to chill instead of doing this shit because I'm not being productive. And tomorrow I would like to be, okay? So tomorrow we're either doing research or a V2 of this dumb shit. And whatever it is, I'll accept it. Maybe I'll do some research tonight, but not on stream because we need to get this shit done. Tomorrow is midday for me today. Tomorrow... What's your time zone? Oh. Tomorrow we're probably starting 9:30. So it would be 3 p.m. What time is it today for you? Wait, what time is it for you? I'm so confused. You have to wake up at 5 p.m. Bro, That's unhinged. Anyway, I'll do that tomorrow and the day after as well. So, yeah. If you hop in, if you say hi, I'll be there. He's in my home, based. It's 2. He's in the walls. Alright, enough memes. I want to go game a little bit, okay? And go take a piss. So that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. It was very funny to have this 3-hour fuckfest where we try to think through Nigma's brain. And it was fun having you all. So, can you describe your snow flavor? My snow flavor. The snow right now would be mint fresh. Not gaming on stream. I don't think that Deadlock is a fun thing to stream, especially because my... Okay. I don't know, Rust, if you play, like, Deadlock, but... My rank is Oracle, and I'm Oracle 4, which is pretty fucking high. And the problem is I'm garbage, okay? I'm very bad. The reason why I have this is because I play support characters, and there's a thing in MOBAs that as soon as your team has a support character, you like instantaneously win if the enemy does not have a support character. So, yeah. But I'm garbage. Deadlock still in alpha beta? I believe so, yes. I believe. But it's fairly good. It's I like the game. I like the game a lot. I think that it's like 2 things that I like. I like FPS, right? I like these type of games, but I also like MOBAs. So like the 2 parts help a lot. And there's enough like change that you can keep being not engaged, but like the game is still fun and there's still some change and you're not locked in the same meta. Although I only play the same fucking 2 people. So when will they release it? I have no fucking clue. Well, first of all, you can ask to be part of that alpha beta and they will accept you like right away. They don't give a shit. So it's not like it's locked for real. They're just pretending. And yeah. Like I play two different characters. I don't know anything else. We're talking gaming because Rust. And I said gaming because you play Minecraft, Nigma. No, Nigma plays with his delusion. He's a little bit like Andrew in that sense. The walls. It's a joke, Nigma. Works on Linux. I believe they wind it the fuck up. Like, it's made by Valve, right? So, being that it's a Valve game, it's supported for Linux 100%, but it is true. Like, Steam Deck compatibility unknown. Why the fuck is that? Like, that's retarded. But, yes, it does work. But I think it's Windows only. But, like, the wine they use is good. The Proton they use is good. Or Roblox. Yeah, Roblox is probably more it. Yes, only Valve, the RM would work on Linux. Will work on Linux. Well, yeah. Like, if you want to see, like, the best faith company that you can working on Linux from a gaming point of view, it's Valve, right? Valve gave us so much. So whenever they do something, even if it's not perfect, I don't give a fuck. You play with my feelings, Nigma. My green upplay. Time to go to Maple Circuit Gaming. True. The only channel where you can see Maple yell the N-word while playing CSGO. We get back to 2016. God damn. We live in such a better word. And our word. You are younger than me, bro. Fuck off. Alright. Alright, enough memes. Enough memes. We're all going to die if we stay here. Tomorrow, I'll stream. If you're there, love you all. Bye-bye. Not gay.